Move people from where they're at, not where you're at. Growing up, I had two beautiful, traditional Sri Lankan parents that were very strict. You know, the type, they're the ones that don't bother coming home if you don't get an A. You know, that type, right? To make matters worse, my dad was a captain in the Sri Lankan Army during a time when the British ruled Sri Lanka. So my childhood was boot camp. He had this view of the world where academic excellence equates to life fulfillment, which means if you studied hard, get good grades, you'll get a good job, attract a good person, have babies, and die. That is the Sri Lankan life, right? Now, the problem with that life worked for centuries, for different cultures. The problem with that life is the first bit. If you don't have academic excellence, you get none of that, right? I didn't have academic excellence. So what's interesting for me is that my dad and I used to always have these big types of conflict, you know. We used to butt heads all the time. And in fact, one time I was visiting my parents in my old childhood home, and I was staying in my old bedroom, and I wake up one day and I go to open the door, and the door is stuck. So I was jiggling the door, trying to get it open, and I snapped the handle. My dad comes running and says, "Oh my goodness, you've broken the handle. What have you done, you useless fellow? Now I'll have to call Shanta to come and fix this." And then I said, "Dad, you don't need to call Shanta Aya, my cousin. I can fix this." And my dad, without batting an eyelid, goes, "You? How can you fix this? You studied IT." Completely logical, right? Now, in that moment, there is a ton of things I could have said, right? I could have played the despondent teenager. "Father, I just want to please you, and you never give me any opportunity. Please." I didn't do that. Or I could have been the academic route where, you know, studies have shown that people that studied IT have got transferable skills. I didn't do that, right? Instead, what came out of my mouth even surprised me, right? I said to my dad, I looked him square in the eye, "You don't believe I'm qualified to fix this door? How about I teach you how to fix it and you can fix the door?" "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So we go to Bunnings, buy the door handle, I come back, I teach him how to fix the door, and he fixes the door. Now that makes no sense whatsoever until you realize, who is my dad?
An
army, right? He's during a time when the British ruled Sri Lanka. He's a leader of men. He wants to be seen as a solutions provider. So instead of butting heads with him, I simply moved him where he was at, not where I was at.
You know, that's a cute story about my dad, but here's the crucial leadership insight for you. See, as I progressed through my career, I noticed my dad showing up everywhere I went. In fact, I'm pretty sure you would have met my dad too. Not that he's got frequent flyer miles and he's stalking all of us. I'm talking about his persona. You would have encountered people with very set mindsets who aren't willing to look at the world in a different way. That's my dad. And in order to achieve what we want to achieve, whether that's driving innovation, growth, change, whatever we're trying to do inside the organization, we need those people to move, to take action. And so pushing harder isn't going to work. You have to move them from where they're at, not where you're at. And I hope this serves you well to go make tomorrow better than today.